Hey everybody, today I'm going to talk about guitarists in the early 2000s that influenced my playing. I need to start off by mentioning the previous episode in the series about 90s guitar players. And in the 90s, the big deal was that was the last big push with music before the internet. Because after the internet, and probably more specifically after Napster, music as a business and industry really changed because where you got your music became radically different. So talking about pre-internet days, in the early 2000s, I was going to grad school. I tried to start a software company. Long story short, it failed. But my wife got me a guitar somewhere in that decade for Valentine's Day. After I got this guitar, I was thinking, what do I want to play? I'm a teacher, I have a profession, what am I going to do? And so I thought back to this book that I got when I was 16 and talking about pre-internet days. Kids, here's how things used to work. You get a catalog, and if you were a poor kid like I was, you look at these catalogs, and that was your shopping. You couldn't afford to actually go to a music store. You look at these catalogs and just dream of all these things and what you could do with them. And if you were creative like I was, then you could spend a lot of time in your imagination. When you went to purchase something in this book, I forget how much it cost back then, like $14, $15, and with shipping back then, it was probably around $20 for me to get this. That was a big deal. That was like all the money from a birthday. So I'd save up my money and wait for months and months, and how things worked is you would order it, and like a month and a half later, it would arrive in the mail, as opposed to how things work today. So I decided to focus on playing classical guitar, and I knew nothing about it besides that's something I wanted to do and was always interested in. And thinking about things like YouTube, actually when I started, I ordered some DVDs. Yeah, that's makes me feel really old to mention stuff like DVDs, and this whole series is making me feel older than I probably should feel. So there for a while I played exclusively classical and fingerstyle, and in all honesty, I was okay at it. I mean, I wasn't horrible, but it's been a long time, and just playing a little bit there, it was making me cringe, and I know I'm gonna look at a video and see my thumb peeking over the neck. I'm gonna see all the things I'm doing wrong because all my bad habits playing steel string, playing electric guitars have crept back in, and my classical technique is very embarrassing. But some classical players I really admired were John Williams, Julian Bream, David Russell, and Anna Vidovich. And Russell and Vidovich I got to see in concert here in St. Louis, and that was amazing. It was phenomenal to sit like 20 feet away from some of these world-class players and enjoy the music that they made. Those are some of my favorite musical experiences. Kyle, don't you want to rock? As I got back into playing, I was teaching a music appreciation class, and a student in another class, and in the music appreciation class, they play guitar too. So it became a thing where we'd bring our guitars on a certain day, stay after school, and jam a little bit. And that was a lot of fun because that got my chops back. It got me into playing other types of music besides just classical, even though that was my love at the time. But it mainly brought back a lot of muscle memory. And as we'd have these jam sessions, I would learn some other things that I was interested in, like Lamb of God. Some of those riffs were like, it's like I was going back to my teenage days with Slayer. Learning some of the old ZZ Top stuff, that was a lot of fun, because songs I'd always wanted to learn how to play. But a player from the early 2000s that really got me interested is Jack White of the White Stripes, and what his band is called Jack White or something, I don't know. His work in the White Stripes, that solo in Ball and Biscuit, that is one of my all-time favorite solos. It's some of that punk energy, it's blues, there's so much energy and passion, and I just love that just reckless abandon, like, here I am.
Boom.
And just deal with it. What got me out of the classical fingerstyle land totally was a couple music teachers at school wanted to start a cover band, and they knew I play guitar, asked me to join, and that shredded my fingernails playing on steel strings again. And a lot of songs I liked that I never really cared for on guitar, that became a whole different appreciation. It's pretty much all older music, classic rock type of stuff. It's been a lot of fun in this series to read the comments and respond to people. And a reply that I often give is, there are many songs I love to listen to. They come on radio in the car. I'd hear the song, turn it up, sing along, and just have that energy. But I did not care at all about playing on guitar. I used to be very picky about what I learned to play, and I have no idea why. I guess because some things would interest me and some things wouldn't. At the end of the 2000s, I was really changing. The exposure of playing in a cover band, playing classical, learning a whole lot more about music than I ever knew in my life. Instead of what I listened to and what I was exposed to being very narrow, it was very wide. Playing with the teachers at school, I started to play in the musicals at school. Playing musical songs from the 30s and 40s with all the crazy chords, that is tough. But what I learned as a guitar player sitting in the pit for musicals, it was so much. Music I would never listen to, let alone play. Here I am playing it night after night. Here I am learning it. So to wrap up here, I have a couple things to mention. One is the shirts. There is a link to my Teespring store in the description. And my blue logo, that one, and my green logo, which is usually, I think, right around... Okay, that's weird. Okay, so my green logo is right around there, and I'm working on how I want my Hey Everybody opening tagline to look. So check that out if you are interested. Also, I have my songwriting contest going on, so make sure you check out the video about that and the deadline, which will be December 10 of 2020. And next month in December will be the fourth and final episode of this series, and this has been a lot of fun. So next month I get into the 2010s. Enjoy the ending song.
Thanks for watching. Is there something greater like and share? Leave a comment to show you care. Is there something creative like and share? Leave a comment to show you care.